Body on 10, make your girl OD. I get in my way, never out of my lane. Feel like you the one and I'm on one. So what it's gonna be? Baby, squad up, we finna go deep. Riding on a team, got what you need. Baby, won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down, when I hit the town, you should ride on me. Keep your minds on me. On try, baby, I think you should side with me. Stay solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. Keep the moves on tuck. I know it's all love. Everything good. Keep the vibes on crush. I know it's all good. Know it's all love. Know it's all love. I've been feeling like I'm feeling like the man. Lately, can't nobody do it like I can. Daily, baddest in the lattice in the land. Body turn your nigga to a fanny up. Fanny up. I made it where I'm at on my own.
Just one glass in, you're already on my mind. When it gets late, I always realize that I need you. Are you thinking about me tonight? It's no secret, all my friends already know. There's no reason to hold it back, I let it show. All my feelings, are you thinking about me tonight? Your hands around my waist, just let the music play. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. Sweeter than summer wine, baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. And that makes me say, oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Goddamn, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Paradise. I'm taking a mental picture in my mind just to keep this moment till the end of time. 'Cause I know that it might be over after tonight. So before I change my mind, your hands around my waist, just let the music play. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. Sweeter than summer wine, baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. And that makes me say, oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Goddamn, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Paradise. Baby, give it to me.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you?
I cannot complain. How are you doing?
Good. Feels like forever since we've
I know.
met. So good to be back, right?
Yes, so good to be back.
All
Excited.
right. So as people come in, welcome to Get Your Mind Right with me, Coach K, and
Big Al, aka Chef Big Al.
let's do it. Yes. So we're gonna begin tonight with you start it.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to, whoa, what is going on with my angles here? Jesus criminy. All right, so we're going to start today's show with the Compromise, Don't Deprive segment, like we always do. So I've got some simple, quick ones for you today. So the first one is going to be chocolate, but not just like straight chocolate. I'm talking about like
Mm,
candy bars, like Snickers, Reese cups, things like that. I
mm,
know, I know. It's
I'm
it's it's
waiting.
it's
I'm
all about
already
the
like,
balance, right? It's all about the balance. I would never. There's at first there's no substitute for chocolate, but those milk chocolates and those candy bars and those processed candies and things like that that we eat, it's so little chocolate in them. You probably don't even know what chocolate tastes like.
that's a good point, especially in time for Halloween. That is a great point.
Yeah. So, and when I was a kid, I didn't want anything to do with dark chocolate. But as an adult, I absolutely love dark chocolate. And
Yeah.
it's so healthy for you. It's filled with tons of antioxidants. And it's not super, super sweet, which is perfect for me because I don't like really sweet stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely, and it's still chocolate, but it's a much better alternative than the processed sugary 10% chocolate bars and things like that that we usually pick up when we go to the store.
That's a good point too. And when I've noticed when I've been trying to eat clean and I'll get some of the dark chocolate with whatever, what percentage do you suggest?
For me, 80 is about as high as I can go because anything after that, it's not really sweet at all and it's just
Mm-hmm.
mostly bitter. Which I think that's good with some recipes and baking and things like that, but
Yeah.
it is still a treat. I still like to have a
It
treat.
it is. Like if you're eating clean, I still look at it as, okay, I'm gonna have something sweet, and it does taste really good when like, I have a sweet tooth, so if I wanna, satisfy that craving, it's good, and you can't have too much of it too, I
Right,
feel
because
like.
it's so rich. It's so rich. And it also pairs really well with fruit. Cranberries, specifically. I always see dark chocolate with cranberries, and nuts and stuff if you really want to get, fancy. But
It's a good
dark
idea.
chocolate. But it's crazy. When I was a kid, I did not like dark chocolate.
No, no. So, basically the pure dark, like, is it cacao? Is that how you say it? Or is it just
Yeah.
cocoa?
I don't. I think it's kind of like tomato at this point, but I
Okay,
think
okay. You know what I'm talking
the
about then.
official, yeah, is cacao. Yeah, the cacao bean, chocolate that's actually derived from that and has a large percentage of it in it. A lot of the chocolate again, like that's some like Snickers and Reese cups. It's processed. It's a small percentage of chocolate, a lot of a whole bunch of other BS, and it's not good for you, which we know that. We don't necessarily go pick up a Reese bar to be healthy
Right.
or a Reese cup to be healthy.
That's a
But
good point.
sometimes I know with me, especially sometimes I need something sweet and I don't want to feel terrible about it. So dark
For
chocolate is my
sure.
go-to. And my boyfriend doesn't like it, so I don't have to worry about him
Ah!
eating my stuff.
Well, there's another good one. Yeah, that's true. Now that you say
Yes.
that.
He does not like dark chocolate. And that's
No.
fine with me, cause don't
Yeah,
touch my stuff.
yeah,
Thank
and
you.
you can't really overdo it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's probably why he doesn't like it.
right, right. Um, oh, that's Hey, Quincy. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
All right.
Okay, so next up,
Yep.
would be a substitution for our pasta noodles because we know pasta is usually bleached. It's high in sugar, it's high in carbs, not that good for us.
Mm.
Um, a healthier alternative that I like, and even if you're not all the way there, you can do half zucchini noodles, half regular pasta noodles. But zucchini noodles are really, really good. I like them. And if you cook them properly, the key is to cooking them properly. Some people overdo it and they just end up turning into like zucchini mush. It
Ugh,
you
yeah.
literally, yeah, it's really just a flash and you got to make sure you drain them. But you can't really tell the difference mixed into a pasta, and they actually add a nice layer of crunch, of texture. So it's
I
a
could
really
do
good
that.
alternative. Yeah,
I could do that because I love pasta, so it's like
me too.
I love the bad things.
The possibilities are endless with me. I love
Mm.
pasta.
I know, so do I. I like carbs and I like sweets.
Yeah, I know, but I think we're part of the system. We're addicted.
I
It's not our fault.
know.
We're ill. It's not our fault.
I know, that's a good point. Yeah, we're pretty much like it's like we're talking about literally drugs at this point. Like, yeah, but I love that drug.
Especially anything involving white sugar at this point. It's cocaine. Might as well be a level 3 drug. It should be a level 3 drug.
For sure, for sure. Hey, Mr. Bobby Wright. Welcome and What We Know podcast, Rob.
Hey
Hey.
Rob.
Okay, so we had dark chocolate and noodles.
Zucchini noodles.
Yeah,
Yes.
zucchini noodles.
And then my last one is a really quick one, which is instead of when it comes to our pastas, instead of doing the like Alfredo sauce or the heavy cream based sauces, I found that coconut milk is actually a pretty good alternative. Now, of course,
Mm.
it's not going to thicken up like a heavy cream would, and you're not going to use as much liquid because it's not going to thicken up like that. But it still can give you a really creamy, flavorful pasta, especially if you're doing like a Cajun type pasta or a jerk type Caribbean pasta. The coconut milk is a much healthier and
Mm.
tastier alternative because, I mean, heavy cream doesn't have any flavor to it. You have to enhance the flavor to it. Whereas coconut milk, it is slightly flavored with coconut.
That's a good point. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's just and it's really high in fat.
So bad, so bad. So you just take the carbs, the bad carbs, and you add them with all the bad fat, and then you just have this low vibrational dish, and you're just like,
You
let's
feel
go.
you feel so like I feel so sluggish after eating stuff like that. And I know
It's
it
time to go to
too. Like,
bed.
hey Bernard and Sir Hale and Scam, Mr. Dust.
And we probably had
Welcome.
some garlic bread with it on the side too. So we're just all
Yeah.
carved up.
Yeah, I will say with the eating, it's just it's the mental for me. It's like, ugh, that's where it's at. It's not so much like
Yeah.
really, of course it's mental because if we're sending messages to pick up these things and to buy these things, but I can already
I mean,
feel like
it's
the
levels to
conflict.
it. It's levels to it. And at the end of the day, it all comes to creating a balance. Like every single pasta dish that you make from now on, don't try to do zucchini noodles every time. Like at the end of the day, I'm a firm believer, especially like with the vegan community thriving at this point,
Mhm.
and everybody is like substituting chicken for tofu and I don't know, artichoke hearts. Like, good for you. Like, I'm so happy for you. But realistically, I know that's just not for me. But with that being said, can I make one day out of the week? Like, can I have meatless Monday? I know one of my friends, she does meatless Monday.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that is
yeah.
her day. Yeah, she's vegan that day. And then the rest of the week, she's still cooking at home. She's not eating out and like
Right.
just ruining what she did on Monday, but she's compromising, not depriving. And at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. You have to create some type of balance. And it's no sense in depriving yourself because when you deprive yourself, I feel like that's when you end up like just relapsing and like binging and just like, yeah, I don't know why I ever tried to live that healthy lifestyle. This is it. And
Hey,
then,
Missy. Yeah, it's not sustainable.
yeah,
It's kinda like going cold turkey, and I think most of us know hey, Marcus. Most of us know that, if anyone says, like, they're gonna quit cold turkey cigarettes or whatever, pretty much all of us is like, that's not a good idea." So why would we hey, Steven, that's not a good idea with, things that you have been consuming day in and day out. Like, it's still going to be a big change, and especially with like chemically with your mind and like being dependent on it and things like that, you might have some withdrawal, you know?
yeah, you absolutely will. And I think it also kind of ties into us just living in this get rich fast, get rich quick society. Again, like we talked in the last episode, I've removed the word diet from my vocabulary because it has such a temporary stigma around it when it really should be lifestyle. Like a diet, there should be nothing temporary about you eating cleaner or eating healthier. That should be your lifestyle. And when it comes to, I think, eating clean or eating healthier, a lot of these people, especially, they believe what they see on the internet, and they're like, okay, bet I'm gonna do this for 6 weeks, and then I'm gonna be this, and then da 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 da, and it's like, no, that doesn't work. You no shade because I love him. You're gonna be Luther Vandross. That man was up and down, up and down, up and down. Like you have to find something that works that's a nice balance of the best of both worlds.
Mhm.
Find something that works, stick to it, adapt that lifestyle, and
Mhm.
see it through. Um, it's nothing temporary about it. So yeah, you're not
Yeah.
gonna see me making nothing but zucchini noodles, but
Right.
I'm gonna throw my veggies in my pasta, and then every now and then, I might have some zucchini noodles instead of the regular spaghetti noodles or the
Yeah.
bucanti. I love bucanti noodles. I don't
I
know
don't
why.
I don't even know what that is.
They're like, have you ever had them? They're like it's like a thicker spaghetti noodle, and it's like a little hole in the middle of it.
Maybe, and I just don't know what it is. Hey, you're
Yeah,
you're the chef. You're the fancy one. I don't know any of this.
noodles are just something very special. Like somebody did a very bad thing when they started like playing with flour and
I
making
know.
noodles.
I
Like,
know.
let me holla at you. Let me
Uh,
holla at you.
it's the best. Gosh, it's
But
all the
yes,
good
those
stuff.
are my compromise not deprived items for today.
Okay. I take what I've made some changes, like, because I try not to eat, like, I don't eat processed stuff, let's see. I'm trying to think of, like, what I even eat on the regular. I eat
Do
pretty
you do
clean.
fast food at all?
Mm.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
something me and my fiance will do a lot is, like, I guess this would still be kinda considered it, is, like, condados. I don't know if they have that where you in Detroit.
Yeah.
So that's probably still considered, but we don't do that often, and it's not
hmm
like, well, I guess that's tortilla chips are fried, aren't they? But, um, like,
I
yeah.
I think it depends on just the restaurant. Like some restaurants, like I feel like they are pretty much the same as eating fast food. They don't have anything fresh on the menu. Everything is deep
Mhm.
fried and, cooked to
Mhm.
order in a deep fryer. But like
Yeah.
condados, I mean, they are in there chopping up fruits and not maybe not fruits, but vegetables and peeling avocados. So
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what you eat. Um,
Yeah. Like, not we don't do drive-through or any of that. Like,
yeah,
we hardly ever eat out, and
yeah,
it's just 2 of us, though, so it's like, I don't know, it's just getting into the habit of, making it easiest, most efficient for us in our schedules, whether that's like, I don't do leftovers, I just can't. I gotta get over it, but I just can't do it. It's just, you know how chicken will taste different? That's just me. But, doing that and, then also having something that is for both of our goals, because
hmm
he's in the gym, he's trying to, at different times put on weight and he'll eat more. I don't need that, you know what I mean? So it's
right.
like balancing all those different things, but I have been trying to, you know, look at as far as things like, detergent,
hmm
like shampoos and stuff like that, but, you can't
Yeah.
you can't win them all, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. And that's why they say I found the older I get, the more I understand, ignorance is bliss. The more
mhm.
you find out, the more you're just like, what the fuck? They're trying to kill us. Like, nothing is safe.
I
Everything is
know.
off limits. You should find a bubble and live in it, seal it shut, and just live in it. But at that
Yeah.
point, what is your quality of life? And
I
so
know.
that's why I always try to tell people, it's all about being realistic and just setting realistic goals. I mean, at the end of the day, none of us can cheat death. Some things are inevitable, but you can definitely increase your quality of life and your chances of living by just making small changes. You're still going to have to breathe this air, and I'm sure this air probably isn't the healthiest thing for us to be
Right,
inhaling and exhaling. But
right.
I mean, again, it's some things that you just can't avoid, but there are some things that you can, and you have to want it for yourself. You have to want it for yourself. You have to really be headstrong on setting your goals and being consistent with something. And then it won't seem like so much of a task. Just like right now, it doesn't seem like a task for a lot of people to eat poorly. It's something that they've gotten used to. It's something that they've
Right,
adapted to. They do it without thinking.
right.
So the logic that you can't have that same mindset with the healthier lifestyle, it's just not, that's not it. You
It's
you you have to want it.
it's not, yeah, and it's not true because at one point you probably were subconscious and you didn't realize it, but you made that decision, so it's gonna be
hmm
the same way, like, our brains are capable of doing it. We have everything we need. I was telling my clients today, it's like a computer up here. We just
Yeah.
have
Oh,
to make sure
absolutely.
that we're programming it and reprogramming it if needed. And sometimes we gotta rewire a few things, but
Mm-hmm.
it can totally do it. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to be intentional and deliberate and do it every
And
day.
realistic, be honest. Like some people, especially, they'll be like, especially for the people that are able to maintain a slimmer figure and
Mhm.
eat just whatever they want to. There. I feel like those are some of the largest groups of people that are in denial because they're not overweight, and so many people think that all overweight people they just eat too much. And it's funny to see that sometimes in some cases a lot of overweight people they don't eat a lot at all. They just have poor gut health. They have slow metabolism. They may have thyroid issues or other underlying issues. And you're actually able to eat so much because you have a higher metabolism. But,
Right.
the actual size of our stomach is not that big. So the fact that you're able to eat and eat and eat like this,
Right.
you have to understand that your body is breaking down these foods and digesting them. But you keep eating like that and eating the wrong foods like that, you're gonna have some problems eventually over time.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Um, yeah, so Jenny says, how long does it take to create a good habit? 21 days, 3 weeks. You can change anything if you choose to. That is for sure. Now it's going to vary on what it is and how ingrained it is. If you're an
hmm
adult and you've been doing something the same way for a long time, you first have to draw awareness to it. What it is that you're doing, you have to notice when you're doing it, things like that. And then you can start to break down what that habit is. And sometimes not it, and I think we talked about this before, but sometimes it's not even picking up a new habit, it's breaking a bad one. And if you can stop doing a small thing every single day, that's going to compound over time. So if you're not, let's say you're at work and you get a soda out of the vending machine and you stop doing, and this is something my dad used to do. If you stop doing that over time, you're going to think about it, 1 times 365, that adds up. So it's like, if you can wrap your mind around that, you can definitely, at least start there and then work your way up. But it's a lot, it's doable. Yeah, you just have to
it's
choose
doable,
to.
yeah. And you have to get out of denial. You have to be realistic. You have to
Yeah,
be
I don't.
realistic.
Yeah, and just be aware of your excuses because we all have them. That's for sure.
Yes, yes,
I
yes,
got them
yes,
too.
yes.
All
We
right.
all do. We all do.
I know I'm on to them, that's for sure. But okay. So speaking of gut health, what we got
Yes.
today?
So, if you guys tuned in for our last episode, which was like 2 weeks ago, we talked about how our gut health can affect the way that we think. And we spoke about our gut containing all of these trillions and trillions of bacteria and how the microbiome, houses all of these organisms, and it kind of works as a central communication system to our brain, and it sends the signal out to our body on
Yep.
how we should feel, what we feel. And poor gut health is a result of bad eating habits.
Mhm.
And that can be linked to depression, anxiety, things of that nature, low vibrations, all of those low vibrations.
For sure.
So, to piggyback off of that subject, this week we're going to be talking about alkaline food versus acidic food. And I
Mhm.
really love this topic because I feel like it's super controversial.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was like doing some googling.
I think again, it comes down to people not doing their own proper research and people looking for that get rich quick, that get rich fast mentality.
Mhm.
Um, One person I feel like I was introduced to the alkaline diet years ago after I was introduced to Dr. Sebi and a lot of his teachings and a lot of his findings. And Dr. Sebi highly promoted the alkaline diet because he believed that diseases such as cancer, AIDS, HIV, herpes. They can't exist in an alkaline environment. And he believed that solely what we ate could control our pH levels to be either alkaline or acidic. And ideally, having an alkaline environment would basically make you like this untouchable health wizard, guru, whatever. No disease formed against you shall prosper. And science has not been able to prove not any of that, but science has not been able to directly link.
If you.
I know sometimes I'm like, what?
Like, what was that? But science has not been able to directly link your diet to your blood pH level, which is important when you start talking. Here comes Zula. Girl.
Oh God. Jelly bean. Jealous.
Okay, come on. Oh, now you're screaming. Hello, world. Okay. So science has not, so the blood pH is what is directly tied to like diseases and bacteria and things of that nature. But science basically, promotes what you eat, your diet, and the acidity levels in the foods that you're eating. It's more so controlling your urine pH, not your actual blood pH. And so, there's no proof, scientific proof, actually supporting what Dr. Sebi spoke on. The thing with that is,
so what do I? That's why I was leaving this to you, because I'm like, I don't know anything about this, and also I'm like, I saw that, and then I saw something about the blood, and I'm like, how do I even know?
Yeah. And so I'm not a scientist, and again, we're not doctors. This is not to diagnose or treat or anything like that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, seek a medical professional. Just a little disclaimer, know.
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to get down now? Are you done? Are you done? Okay, I'm gonna put you down now, okay?
Oh my God.
Now she's just looking at me like, what are you doing?
We'll give her a little bit.
So wow, that's so rude. Are you done? Okay. So anyway, when I looked at the alkaline diet,
like a little toddler.
I know she does this every time. Come here. Since you want a little baby.
We'll keep going. You're just got to hold her.
Yeah. And that's the thing. She want to be held. She don't want to be held. Now she's trying to crawl down and jump. Okay. So anywho, when I looked into the alkaline diet before it became like a trend and everybody had, their 2 cents to provide on it, it literally just looked like a plant-based diet that was filled with beans and fruits and vegetables. So, not even getting deep or technical, I'm just like, it's clearly a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah.
Regardless of any medicinal effects that it may have, you're eating whole foods, you're eating unprocessed foods, you're eating foods that are balanced or not balanced, but they have nutritional value. They're not preservatives, they're whatever. And so that looked like something that, if you maybe were going through depression or anxiety or dealing with inflammation or indigestion or something of that nature, and you were maintaining a poor lifestyle, a poor diet, or lifestyle, the alkaline diet may be something that's beneficial to you. And bottom line is that's what it is. I think that the alkaline diet, it emphasizes prevention. I don't think that it can necessarily scientifically be proven to cure or fix anything. But creating an environment where your body, your microbiome has all of these good bacteria and these you have good gut health, and your body is able to send those signals out. You feel better, you're more energetic, your digestive system is probably working better. You
Right.
probably have less inflammation, less indigestion. It's probably easier for you to go to the bathroom. You know, that's not just a coincidence. You know, this wasn't happening when you were eating fast food every day because you were
Right.
maintaining, you know, a poor gut health.
Right.
So, you know, the three items are alkaline, neutral, and acidic. And ideally, alkaline is I think it's 7.0. It's like
Yeah.
7.365. It's like not even a whole number over seven.
Let's see.
It's like seven, rounded up to to seven. Well, no, because 7.1 is neutral.
Well,
I
it's
think
just
it's like
seven. Like
7.365. Let's just say seven is alkaline, and then 0 to 6.9 is acidic,
right.
and then seven and above, which the scale goes up to
Oh,
14,
I
that's
found it.
considered neutral. Okay, what's the
Well,
number?
what this is what it says, but so it says for ideal blood pH level. Is that what we're talking about? The blood pH?
Well, the blood pH and the urine pH are two different things, but they all
Yeah.
have their own acidic levels.
It
Yeah.
says so. This is just a site that I found. I did not vet it thoroughly before this, but this is just what it says. I got some numbers. So it says urine is normally more acidic. It says acid, but saliva ranges between 6.2 to 7.6. And then for good health, it says ideal blood pH is slightly alkaline between 7.3 and 7.4. And then it has logarithmic, and I'm not going there. So
Yeah. And that's another thing too. It's not, I mean, I feel like you really would have to be like not a scientist, but like this would have to be something that you really looked into and that you were educated in to fully even understand. And I think that's why a lot of people got taken advantage of, especially when Dr. Sebi passed. His whole website got like taken over. When Dr. Sebi was alive, he never
mm,
sold any of his findings, any of his recipes, any of his suggestions. They were all accessible free of charge on his website. And then after he
mm,
passed, they started producing the supplement and they started selling it on the website. And you know, he didn't
magic
own his
pill.
yeah, he didn't own his name, you know, at the end of his life. So they were able to take his name and do whatever they wanted to do and profit off of it. And of course, once you start bringing money into it and people don't get the
Right.
results that they're looking for, oh, it's a scam, it's fake, alkaline isn't real, and da 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 da. And it's like, do you understand what the alkaline diet is?
Right.
You know, to say that it's not fake. Is it going to cure AIDS? There's nothing that backs that up. I don't know. I can't tell you that.
Right.
I don't think that anyone can tell you that. But I mean, just realistically, do you think that you're going to feel better and internally and externally by eating McDonald's every day, or getting your
Right.
greens in and working out and drinking water and things of that nature?
Right.
Um,
Speaking of
so
water,
yeah.
Robert H, and I was wondering this too. Robert H says drink alkaline water, yes or no?
Um, Okay, I would say it depends on the brand because a lot of these brands are really, really, really shady. One thing that I did take away from Dr. Sebi was the consumption of spring water. And it's crazy to me, a lot of people don't like spring water, and I love spring water. It may be because I'm just so used to drinking it now.
Oh.
Um, but that is and spring water, depending on how it's sourced and how it's bottled, it's naturally alkaline and it has natural minerals and vitamins that come from the
Mm.
earth in it. You don't have to add anything to it. You know, like the electrolytes that are added in, and the waters that go through reverse osmosis and purification and all this stuff. And
Mhm.
Dasani tastes like chlorine, and I don't know what they put in
Perfect.
there.
Aquafina. Mm.
I don't know anything about that. I don't drink those. But one of the spring waters that I like is Evian, and then it's the Wakia. Everyone calls it Wakanda. I don't know why. Um,
What? How you spell it?
it's like Waike.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the blue bottle.
Okay, well, let's see. Oh, that's like
Yeah.
after an actual,
Yeah,
what,
it's a
New Zealand?
volcano. I think it's a volcano in Hawaii.
I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
okay.
But you really just have to, I would say, look at the labels. I know a lot of people, I get made fun. That's one of the things I get made fun of, because I'm not buying the 99-cent bottle of water, the purified water that tastes like nothing. It tastes like nothing. Water shouldn't taste like nothing. It should have, you know, not necessarily an earthy taste, but
Mhm.
there's minerals in there. There should be
Right.
minerals in there. And it shouldn't be a lot of times, if, I don't know if you've ever seen somebody that can drink water like back to back to back to back, like they never get their thirst quenched. They're probably drinking a water that has no nutritional value to it. Probably like if you go to the store and see like a 24 case pack of water for $3,
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't pick that up.
Oh, I'm like, "Oh my god.
I know, and that's why I say
What have
like
I been
I get
drinking?"
made fun of because I spend a couple of dollars on my water, but I don't just buy like any water. Like I think Smart Water, I think that's like some of the worst water on the market, and that water is
For real?
expensive. Yeah, it's got all of those additives added into it. I think it's purified water at that, and then they've added whatever they added into it, and it's really no nutritional value. It's not good for you. You shouldn't have to
I
add things to water.
I I use a Brita. Uh-oh.
Brita, I haven't done my enough research on Brita to be able to know. I know that it filters out the tap water, but I don't I don't drink the tap water, especially here over in Michigan, which I think that Detroit has a really good water filtration system, or at least they did at one time.
Yeah.
Um,
I think so does where I live, but it says it removes 90. Okay, I was gonna say this better not be Brita's own website, but it says that it removes 99% of certain water contaminants such as lead. But
but see, how is it lead in who put the lead in the water in the first? And where is it sourced from? Like,
well,
where did
don't
it
get me
come
started on
from?
freaking well, Flint, that was a freaking crisis. Gosh.
Was no is
Well,
Flint
I
is
know.
still
I remember
having
watching a
issues.
documentary on that in school, and
Yeah,
I said that was modern day Chernobyl, literally.
yeah, and
Like
the
the
fact that
corruption.
yeah, so many people have tried to step in and assist with efforts. You have no choice but to think it's correct.
Anyway, we could definitely go. But okay, so back to the water though. Um, no
Spring
filters for
water.
drinking. But okay, so what if someone's like, and I'm probably like one of those, where I'm like, I don't wanna just drink because I love water. So
Old pipes. That makes sense.
true, true.
See, that's why I don't even, and I've noticed that too. In some of like, especially when I lived in Kentucky and like right out of college. Well, when I was in college, and I had like an older apartment, just little starter apartment. The water smelled like pipes. I could smell the rust in the pipes, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
They say
I
that
didn't
about
want to.
Florida too.
Yeah, I didn't want to cook with it, let alone uh drink it.
Mm-mm,
Um,
mm-mm. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
so that makes sense. That makes
Okay.
sense. But spring water, that works for me. From my research, that's the best type of water that we can consume for ourselves. But there is levels to the spring water. All spring water, I don't believe is alkaline, and I think that has to do probably with like a diluting process or possibly a filtration process that happened. But that's just what I've been able to find. That's what I enjoy. That's what I drink. I don't buy anything but spring water.
Oh, no, wait, I don't who Marcus, who is, I guess I could just look up, but who is Steph Curry endorsed or sponsored by? Do you know who that is? Or not
Mm-mm.
who Steph Curry is, not that, but, like, who
No,
he's
yeah, I know
endorsed.
who Steph Curry is.
I know, say, like, oh, people don't think I was asking about that, but at least for the water. Um,
It might
okay,
be Smart Water because I think that was one of the ones I mentioned.
true. Well, yeah, and that is a big brand.
Especially,
But
I don't know if you've ever gone to like the movie theaters or like sporting events or like concerts or the airport. All they have is
airport, yes.
Dasani and Smart Water. And I'm
Yes.
like, I don't want any of this crap. Like, why is this all that you have?
Yeah, I like that if I bring my, shaker bottle and it's empty, then I can just fill it up when I'm in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Um,
But the water choices and like I'm always intrigued. Like my brain always goes through to conspiracy theorists. Like, why are these the only waters that they keep in these events like this, knowing people
right,
be parched, and this is the only thing that we can buy. We can't bring our outside water in.
right. There was somewhere in Florida, they charged for water, like, and it was a bottle water too, and it wasn't good from what I remember, and I'm like, "Ugh," you know, you're I don't wanna drink, alcohol or soda or pop or whatever, but you're gonna charge me for, water. So Robert H says, "Alkaline water is bad. It dilutes the stomach acid, which causes acid reflux. Your stomach needs to be acidic to properly digest food." I never have acid reflux, like, ever. I know people that do, like, they'll have to have Tums and stuff. I never have that problem, but I don't know, but then I'm like, for I think, like, these are small things that can really change everything. And it's like, yeah, I know that well, how old are you again, Big Al?
30.
Okay, so yeah, we're about the same age, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm getting older, like, I should probably start taking this seriously," you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like things like this, it's just easy to feel overwhelmed, but one thing at a time, guys, just one thing at a time.
One thing at a time. And that's why I've watched, like, if you really start digging, that's why, again, with the ignorance is bliss. Once you open up the wormhole, it's so deep that you can dive. And it's so many people that have done their own research and they have their own opinions and they have their own studies.
Mhm.
It kind of just, it's like, okay, well, which way do I go? What do I listen to? And that's when you kind of have to decide what works best for you, because
Mhm.
everything isn't for everybody. And some things I think people try to push off as facts, but they can really be more so, an opinion or just somebody's personal preference. Um,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
you can do research on anything. But I
Yeah.
can, also do research on something and we can come up with different data.
Yeah, and then find who
So,
funds that research too, but whatever, like, I
yeah.
always get so, like, pessimistic, but yeah, it's, like, kind of like common sense and then, like, risks and trade-offs, like, what's your
Hmm.
goal? What are you working with? And are is it not feasible for you right now, or are you making an excuse? Like, at the end of the
Hmm.
day, like, if you're being
Yeah.
honest with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And so again, when it comes to alkaline versus acidic, I don't think that there's any way that you can avoid acidic foods altogether. There's just acidic elements in everything, just
Yeah.
about everything, if not everything that we consume.
I
Um,
saw that, and some, like, good
yeah,
foods are acidic.
yeah, because you've got like the amino acids and the fatty acids. Those are in quantities, in the correct quantity portions. Those are good for us. So all acids aren't bad, but just like everything, it goes back to creating a balance. You have to balance everything out. A lot of the times people simply don't drink enough water. They feel down, lethargic, tired. No matter how much you sleep, it's not enough. You're still tired. No
Skin's
matter how
dry.
much, yeah, skin's dry, lips dry, peeling, whatever. And it's like, drink water, bro. Like, just drink some water. And people don't realize, something that simple. Your body is 70% water. If
Right,
you are not hydrating yourself properly, you are setting yourself up for failure before you even get a chance to get into the ring. And a lot of the
right.
times, I think we spoke about this in last week's episode too, um, for our compromise the prize. Try grabbing the water before you grab a snack, because you might find that you're really not hungry, you're just thirsty.
Right,
And that, and then when people do think sometimes, okay, yeah, maybe I am thirsty, not the Mountain Dew, not the juice,
God, no, not the Mountain Dew. My life will never be the same. Not that I drank it, but I'll never forget that.
Still, it's because it's alarming. And Mountain Dew has been around since we've been born, and it's a lot of people that did not know. Like that is the highest sugar content drink that you can consume, and people are drinking 2 and 3 Mountain Dews a day, and they can't figure out why their eyes got bags under them, and they're so droopy. And gosh, I keep drinking all this caffeine, and I still don't have any energy.
Right, right. Yeah, and
You
that
don't. You
yeah, and
don't.
caffeine's not good either. I mean, we all see that. It is a common thing, but it's true, it's but not don't go 0 to 100, do what you
Yeah,
can, but
balance.
the least you can do is double fist with some water. Like if you're drinking
Yeah,
coffee, drink some water too. Like, 1-to-1 ratio, like please.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you can lift your mug or lift whatever, you can definitely drink some water too.
yeah. You should. And a lot of people don't realize that their bodies are craving water. They think that they're hungry, or they think that, this juice will do the trick. They don't understand that these things can't hydrate you. The water to bullshit quantity in these beverages, it washes out the water. The water is practically not there. You've got the sugar, the dyes, whatever chemicals, preservatives they put in there. It's not hydrating your body at all. When you see people at halftime during the basketball games or on the football field, they're not chugging down Mountain Dew. you know,
Right.
they're drinking Gatorade or water, and Gatorade. I think that's a decent drink if you're an athlete or somebody that is
Yeah.
burning off calories and things like that. But
Yeah.
people just sit around and drink Gatorade like it's Hawaiian punch, and that's
Right.
not good for you. Like Gatorade, drinking Gatorade like that, it's putting sodium in you. You're putting too many electrolytes in you. You don't need all them electrolytes. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You're not burning them off. What are you doing?
It's just
But
like
people don't know.
and
People don't
people
know.
say, water is boring, and it's like, get over it. Like, so what? It's you know
I
what I
think
mean?
it's
Like
one of
you
those things where if people started it, they would realize, like, they would start craving it. Like if you really started incorporating it into your diet, you would know when you get those feelings like, dang, I need some water. Because you're gonna
yeah.
remember
And if you have
them chips
headaches,
didn't satisfy me like this, that pot didn't satisfy me like this. I want some water. I need some water.
mhm. Yeah, and it's like you don't always have to have, something, stimulating or exciting or flavorful. Like you need you just need to drink some water. Like I don't want to hear it. By the way, guys, we dropped the link, so if anyone wants to come up um and join. Hey Luke Hazley, if anyone wants to join the convo, we are here. The link is in the chat. Thanks everyone for being here. Don't forget to like the stream, share, subscribe. Luke Hazley says you can put lime in a half teaspoon of salt in your water as more of a natural electrolyte. Yeah.
I also do that if I have an itchy throat. I'll gargle salt water, but
Yeah,
I'll put like
yeah.
lime or lemon in it.
Ooh,
I don't know
yeah.
what the science is behind that, but that works.
I
It like
have
really starts pulling mucus up too. Good
yeah,
old
I have
classic.
I have heard that. Hey, DL, thanks for stopping by. Um, this is all just so interesting, and there's just so many different things, that this could, like a domino effect,
Yeah.
but it's like things that, we feel terrible, but we keep doing them, and it's like we have to take a look in the mirror and look at what we're
hmm
doing and the choices that we're making.
And the answers are out there and they're easily accessible, but I think that it's really overwhelming a lot of times because,
Mhm.
again, this unknown wormhole that you're diving into and you don't know what to expect. And sometimes you feel like you're going to have to change your entire life. And that seems kind of scary, but it's all about how you approach it. And also, it's very important, I think, to filter out the credible facts from the spam, kind of, if that's what you want to call it. Because there's a
Yeah.
lot out there and there's a lot of people that excuse me, they throw things off by selling these false dreams and these false hopes and these get rich quick diets and lifestyle changes. And people finally get in the headspace and they're like, okay, I'm finally gonna do it. I'm gonna see it through. And then they get played, and then they're like, all right, see, yeah, this is why I was just doing things the way I was doing. I'm gonna keep doing it that way. So you owe it to yourself to really put effort into it and look out credible information and set realistic goals and see it through. That's up to you.
Yeah.
That's up to you. Don't be clicking on all the links. Don't be looking at all the Instagram influencers and trying to sell you them teas.
Yeah, we might have to do some deep dive debunking at some point. Just looking at that would be fun. But also too, there is another thing that I was thinking of. It just escaped me. But there was another thing. I can't remember.
Was it food or?
I think it was like about doing like I mean, it's not even that good now that I remember. Hey, Mandrell, but what I was gonna say is, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is what Papa. I was about to say my last name, but I probably shouldn't. Or my other, well, my last name is changing, but yeah, what my Papa Tim used to say: if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Hey, Mandrell.
Hello, ladies. Good evening.
What you got? What do you think about this topic?
I think it's fine. Could you, ladies, list off some vegetables that would be considered alkaline? Like I remember a couple of weeks ago, I said, you asked me, did I eat spinach? Big Al did. I said, yeah, that's not alkaline. You eat broccoli? Yeah, that's not alkaline. But then I look online, it says, and it's a list of alkaline vegetables, and broccoli is on there, spinach is on there. I'm like,
I did have
so
that. Let me pull it up.
Who's right? Big Al or the internet?
So from the research that I did, I got a lot of my list from Dr. Sebi, and I forgot like.
Oh yeah, a person who's just not very credible at all. Individual.
Oh my god, dude.
You think so?
Huh? Who, Dr. Sebi? So? Well, how would he know? He's not a botanist.
He's not a what?
He's not a botanist.
He wasn't a certified doctor or anything of that nature.
Right, but he was right about some things. Mucus is a problem in the system. Oh. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
wait. So, are you appealing to authority right now?
No, I'm just looking for accurate information.
But just like Coach K. With that being said, like we were just saying, I feel like, well, not I feel like, but there's alkaline and acidity in everything that we eat. There's a balance of it. So
it depends on the pH balance.
Can't be 100. You're right. Everything can't be 100% alkaline or 100% acidic. I don't believe. So I think that the list that Dr. Sebi went off of or that he created was based off of the level of pH versus, well, not the level of pH, but the level of acidity versus alkaline, and then took that to determine what is alkaline and what is not. From my understanding, broccoli is also one of those hybrid vegetables.
It is.
Yeah.
Just like cauliflower, but cauliflower they say is alkaline, but I mean I'm like,
that's true. Yes. They do.
Brussels sprouts, asparagus, kale, onion.
Well, kale, yeah, definitely. But kale is natural.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Lemons is acidic.
I think
because the citrus in there, the lemons are very acidic.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Same thing with lime.
Right.
But lime is delicious. So is lemon. But
yeah, it is.
Ladies, you should have been ready for this one. This is going to be a question, and you had to know that.
That's what I was thinking. Well, this is Big Al's wheelhouse.
Oh, this is Big Al's topic. Okay, Big Al. Now I hear tell that things like butter and olive oil, avocado oil, those are the big three that you should be cooking with if you're gonna pan fry anything. And I pan fry chicken every day for lunch, right? Okay, and I take a chicken breast, I chop it up into bite-sized pieces, I pan fry it. right?
With what? What are you cooking in?
Well, some garlic or olive oil.
Okay.
His
But
store-bought garlic, like in the can, right? Or in the jar?
not anymore. I actually bought the cloves because I buy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because
Ever
when
since we
when
talked about it.
she said, yeah, it is minced garlic, but what's it been sitting in? I was like,
Oh.
that's a good question. What has it been sitting in? So I was like, you know what? To be on the safe side, I'll just get the cloves, peel them, and just mince it myself. I got one of the mincers.
Oh yeah. The
Yeah.
little choo,
Mm-hmm.
choo, choo.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually surprised I didn't have one already because I got a full kitchen. Like as far as whatever utensil you
I
need, I
don't think
got
that's
it.
one of the standards because
But
a lot of
it's not a
people.
standard. But I have a lot of things that aren't standard. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean,
Yeah,
I cook
you
all the
just missed
time,
one. You
so I
just missed
bought. Yeah, I
one.
just missed that one because normally I'll take the garlic, crack it, and then just throw it in the pan with it, and the garlic kind of melts with the with the with the whatever you're cooking with. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of melts in the skillet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've never needed to mince it especially when I can just buy a jar of minced garlic. You know what I mean? There was no need for me to do it on my
I
own.
think, yeah, and also I think that can kind of be a personal preference. Some people don't mind the chunkier garlic, or especially if you're like slow cooking it, where it's like kind of ends up melting in.
You're right.
You don't really
Normally
notice
that's
that
what it
it's
is.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Normally that's or unless I'm cooking steak and I just leave it. I'll crack it just to break the cloves open, and I'll throw the cloves
yeah.
in with the steak and baste it with the butter and all that, and the thyme and I use thyme and I use not oregano but rosemary.
Basil. Oh,
Rosemary,
rosemary.
yeah, rosemary, thyme. Because I'll put just a little olive oil in after I season the steak. I put a little olive oil in a very hot pan, and I sear
Mhm.
the first half. Right,
Mhm.
I keep it on there for about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, depending on how thick the steak is, and I flip it over. Once I flip it over, I put a bunch of butter in it, and then I throw the rosemary, thyme, and garlic in there
Yeah,
too.
that sounds good.
You know,
What kind of
and
cut do you
That's
usually
exactly
get?
how I cook my steak.
there we go. New York strip and ribeye.
I'm gonna say ribeye,
Yeah,
Ooh.
ribeye has more fat on it, and fat holds flavor, so that's why it tastes
but
so
I
good.
eat steak like probably twice a year, so
Twice
I
a
go all
year.
out. Yeah, I'm not a big red meat eater. Period. Certainly steak, especially now. Like I feel like my appetite is starting to get smaller, and a steak is it's intimidating. I know I can't eat it all. I feel like I'm gonna waste it. Now I don't even want it. So
I'm so very sorry. Yeah, I've cut it out too since I'm on a cut. So only thing
yeah.
I'm eating now as far as meat is salmon and chicken. That's it as far as meat goes.
Hmm.
But yeah, I wouldn't know what a list of alkaline vegetables would be, or is it shorter
Yeah, I
just to
was
give me the list
actually
of things that are non-alkaline so I can stay away from those?
Which
Well, again, it's the balance of it. I was this. I don't know if I can really the. I don't know if this is gonna show up, but this is my list that I had from before Dr. Sebi became monetized. This was his original list
Hmm.
before he passed, and they profited off of his name or whatever. But wild arugula, avocado, bell peppers, cucumber, dandelion greens, garbanzo beans, kale, all
Garbanzo
lettuce.
beans are alkaline.
Mm-hmm.
I got a pack of them up there now. I'm about to soak in some water.
Oh snap!
I did see Navon Moses the
If you're
other
so-called African or black and have 9 series DNA,
they were
80%
right
of
though
your
about the
diet should be
lemons.
fruit, 10 vegetables, and 10 water.
Why
The
are you
citric
reading it like
acid
that?
Go back to that.
does not create acidity and the body once metabolized. So maybe that's why.
Mm.
But anyway, you can go back, Jenny.
If you're so-called
So
African
cold.
or black and have 9 series of DNA, the
I
nine
don't know what
series
that means.
DNA, 80% of your diet should be. There's no punctuation here. Like
I
that's
hate
the confusing
YouTube
part about
on
that. Yeah,
I hate YouTube on the
that's
phone.
I
right.
think,
It's like that's the
yeah,
problem with
no.
this. It's like when people do chats and like there's no punctuation. Like I don't know when
We
to
appreciate
stop,
you
Maybe
being
he's
pause, or
just
here.
whatever.
private. Maybe he was just right. Yeah, you might do better just calling in. You might as well just hit the link
Yeah.
and just call in.
Come on up.
Oh yeah, I like this comment. Yeah, most that was from what I was reading too. I found that the alkaline diet, as far as like really curing or being able to assist with an illness, it's really big in people that have kidney disease. But again, if you're looking in my idea, when I first looked at the alkaline diet, it literally just looked like a healthier plant-based diet, a
Yeah.
really strict plant-based diet. So if somebody is just wanting to adapt a healthier lifestyle or cleaner eating, and
Mm-hmm.
they look into the alkaline diet for just that, it could do that for you. It depends on, I guess, what your goal is. Like if you're looking to this alkaline diet to cure AIDS, then you might be a little bit in over your head.
Right. It's too good to be
You
true. It
know,
probably is. Like, what?
yeah, but if you're looking at it to maybe increase your energy or your metabolism or make you feel better mentally and physically,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah, I know.
you're eating
GERD
whole, unprocessed foods, fruits, and vegetables. I mean, it's beneficial regardless of what it may or may not cure.
right,
It's again, the emphasis is on preventing so that you don't have to cure anything. And
right,
in order to do that, you have to maintain a balanced, healthy lifestyle. And that's
for
the
sure.
bottom line of the alkaline versus
Where'd
acidic
you
for
get that
me.
list from?
What I've had this list for years.
Send it to me.
I will. I'll send it to you. I'm like, I have no clue. Literally, this has been in
Big
my.
L, I'm disappointed. You ladies are unprepared, ill prepared for just me. Now imagine if you had other people who
What
are
do you
actually
mean?
interested in being healthy and they come up here with questions.
What do you
You,
mean?
I
Do you
I
want me
would
to keep
tell
going over
them.
the list? I have the list.
I
You
would
want me
tell
to have the
them.
list memorized? I can't memorize the list. I'm never gonna
I'm
do
not
that.
saying
I'm gonna
memorize it. You can
refer
send it
back
to
to
my
it.
I
you can
don't.
send it to my email address that I put in the back chat, please, Big
Do you want
L.
us to post it onto the video? I mean, I don't understand. What do you want?
I don't feel
Just email
comfortable
it to me.
like sharing absolutes because I'm not sure because
It's
like
not
we were
an
saying
absolute.
earlier.
Yeah,
It's not
The
no,
an
list.
absolute. It's just nothing is absolute.
Well,
no. And I really do my best to try to emphasize that. Again, we're not doctors. These are our opinions. This is information just for entertainment purposes that we researched and found on our
It's
own.
not for
You need
entertainment
to.
purposes.
It is
It is
because I'm
actually
not a
for
doctor. I
informational
yeah.
can't give
purposes.
out, but I can't give out
You're not
medical
giving out medical
advice.
advice, but you go in. This is based on fact because you've tried this yourself, yes, and it's worked out fine. So you know it doesn't harm anybody. We all know fruits and vegetables are good for us. Let's be real. We all know that. We know eating ice
Well,
cream every day, all day ain't gonna do us any good.
It depends
yeah,
on
you'd be
it depends
surprised.
on do the fruit have seeds in it.
Really, Coach K?
Well, people
There are
do
people.
that. I mean, we will have to talk to Black Man and about putting that list on the community tab, just to
Yeah,
make
we can
sure
do
that
that.
people get the information that they need. And also, too, I'm sure you can always, you know, email Black Man or find Big Al on Instagram and ask her
Yeah,
about these things
and don't
too.
expect an answer for 4 days afterwards. I mean, that's
You're
okay.
such
But
trouble.
It
big,
says
I
that on
am.
my
I know.
page. It does. I do my best to multitask, but the list it's not just it's a list with vegetables, fruits, nuts and seeds, oils, spices and seasonings, salty flavors, sweet flavors. It gives suggestions and alkaline, more alkaline than acidic options. I'll say that. That you can incorporate into your lifestyle and into your everyday eating and things of that nature. And a lot of the things are things that you're probably already eating. They're easily accessible. Some things you'll probably have to go to like a health store, a health food store for, or a health
Mm-hmm.
specialty store. But things like cucumber, kale, okra, those are accessible to us easily every day. So
Okay. Now, what about things like butternut squash? I
did we
like
talk
butternut
about
squash.
squash? I feel like we
No,
talked about
no, we
squash.
didn't talk about.
Yes, we did.
Wait, I want to get to
Talked
these
about
oils.
zucchini earlier.
I want to get to these oils now. Big L, you said to me in a text back and forth um,
We're
that
talking about avocado oil.
and olive oil because
Mhm.
I use it every day. My concern
Mhm.
is that harmful?
For in what terms?
Like, is it harmful to eat it every day? Cook with it and eat it every day.
Harmful, like
Uh,
with fat or what?
In any way? Is it harmful to the kidneys or liver? Is it harmful to the arteries and veins? Or is it okay for general health to cook with olive oil every day? Because
you
because
see,
it gets
the way, once you start cooking things, if they do have nutritional value into them, depending on how long you cook them and what heat level you cook them on, you're cooking out a lot of the nutritional value. So when it comes to things like olive oil and coconut oil, grapeseed oil, those things are most beneficial used as like a vinaigrette or something to toss your vegetables in. But when you start cooking oil in general, I mean, I don't think that it's good for us to be consuming. But when you start cooking with it, you lose some of the nutritional values. But if you are going to cook with an oil, avocado oil, sunflower oil, grapeseed oil, those would be the oils that I would cook with because they are naturally derived. They're not processed like vegetable oil. It's not like corn byproduct or something like that. But I think that not olive oil, but oil in general, you want to consume that in the smallest quantities as possible.
But here's the thing: when I air fry my salmon, I drench it in olive oil. Yeah, I drench it in olive oil.
I said toss. I did not say drench, not saturated.
Right.
Not. Okay, gotcha. But I'm not talking about just like soak it. I just kind of like, and just use my hand and rub it with the olive oil. I know. I don't mean like dunk it in olive oil. That's ridiculous.
Dunk it like a chicken nugget.
Right. That's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. It is before I cook it because
Or like a spray if it's in the air fryer, right? Like, do you need that much?
Yeah, they have the little spritzer bottles. You could use that little choo choo. Put some vinegar in there.
What vinegar and what?
With your olive oil, put in a little spray bottle. Spray that on your
spray bottle? You mean like Pam?
That's what I was saying.
No,
so, like,
they have like
no, I use parchment paper in my. I put it on parchment paper when I put it in the air fryer.
Like Pam,
I don't want to clean it that often.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It's such a pain.
Yeah, but I clean it. I clean it a couple of times a week instead of every day because it's clean most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I sit it in parchment paper.
But I'm referring to like if you're using it like as a vinaigrette or a salad topping, instead of actually getting a bottle and pouring it, you can spray it if you get one of like those spray bottles. And they actually sell them. That's specifically made for like salad dressings and things. Okay, and that's just an easier way to control. Yeah, that's an easier way to control how much. He said drench it.
I got you, but I'm talking about specifically about because I know with olive oil you have a salad or something, or like when I roast vegetables, I have my I have it and and I'm done, right? You know what I'm saying? And so I toss the vegetables in a bowl, and then I have my seasoning, and I sprinkle it a little bit, just to top it, and then I shake it. You know what I'm saying? I toss them in the bowl, and then on the cookie sheet, I put some parchment paper on the cookie sheet while I've already preheated my oven at 450. I pour out my vegetables on the cookie sheet on top of the parchment paper, and so I put it in there for about 15-20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And while that's going, well, my question is it healthy or harmful for me to cook with olive oil every day, twice a day, if I'm using it in that small quantities?
I don't think it is, but
I don't think that it's not. I don't think that it's going to cause a heart attack, but olive oil or any oil for that matter that's naturally derived, once you put heat to it, you're losing the nutritional value. And so if you're not using it for flavor or nutritional value, and you have the parchment paper on there, why do you need it?
What do I need? What?
Good point.
Why do you need the olive oil? Because you've got the parchment paper. So are you using it for flavor, or are you using it for health, or what are you using the olive oil for?
Because the instructions told me to.
That's not okay. Well, that's the beauty with cooking. You can
and plus, and plus, like I think it helps to have the seasonings adhere to the vegetables. It does. I mean, but you know what? I'm gonna try it your way.
Something else for that.
And if I'm not gonna cook with oil, what is an alternative? Just nothing? Just
all cooking
anti-stick pan.
Oil, though.
Just an anti-stick pan and go from there. And
Well, I mean, yeah.
if I air fry the salmon, it comes out dry if I don't use the olive oil on it. Drizzle it. If I don't just
So
drizzle it in olive oil, it comes out dry.
I
I
think
think
this is case by case, and I feel like it's person by person and trial by error because you don't need oil to cook everything, and you don't need oil for everything that goes into the air fryer either. You
All
don't
right, I'm
put
going to try that.
oil
I'm going to
on the
try.
barbecue grill when you're grilling chicken. You don't put oil on the grill. That would be bad. So
I
you
don't
don't. All,
I don't use oil at all when I barbecue.
I don't think it's bad, honestly, from what I've been reading, but you might want to I mean,
I think oil. I always my rule of thumb with oil is use as less as possible, just because once we're cooking it, even if it is nutritional, we've lost the nutritional value. So if I'm using
It's
it
just yeah.
as fat to maybe crisp up something or saturate something or add flavor to it, at that point, I'm not looking at it as something nutritional. It's a flavor enhancer or just an accessory to my dish. So at that point, the health aspect of it has left the building. It's long left the building. Just like when you stew green beans or stew collard greens, like they're not healthy no more.
yeah. I
Yeah,
will say
especially we add the meat to it and all this other kind of crazy stuff. I mean, like you said, it's no longer
Yeah, it
healthy.
was healthy at
Yeah,
one
well,
point.
yeah. Now for me, I'm looking at the health line, and it says that spinach is alkaline, and an alkaline, something that's alkaline, is something that has a pH of 7.1, between 7.1 and 14.0.
mhm,
Neutral is just
seven.
7.0, and acidic is 0.0 to 6.9.
Mhm.
So you're looking for anything 7.1 and above for alkalinity.
Yeah.
Y'all said it
Um
already?
no, that's right. I saw a
Yeah, we went
comment.
over the numbers.
So we really shouldn't eat cooked food for fire to it because we kill the nutrients in it. The sun cooks our food for us. That's why we're supposed to eat mostly fruits and vegetables and some herbs. I'm not I think we're like, you know, I think there's probably some truth to that, but I'm going to guess, and I don't know for sure. But especially for the nutrients, but as humans, we have kind of evolved too, like I'm not sure, how if that's going to affect us as much as it would when it's like it for sure might be true if you're trying to be like, top notch health nut, but if someone's eating, fast food all the time, they're going to be okay to eat veggies that are, you know, baked or whatever, I would say. Um,
Okay.
Well, that's
I get it.
why that
I'm
raw
gonna.
diet, the raw diet, that also kicked off. And with the Dr. Sebi's diet, the one that I had did for one of my clients, he did the 14-day plan where half of it was raw foods and the other half was
love
cooked
Chick-fil-A.
foods. Like Chick-fil-A.
We love Chick-fil-A. All right, go on.
Did you see that, Mandrell? Eat
No, what do you
Chick-fil-A
say?
twice a day and you'll be good.
No, I won't. Chick-fil-A is horrible for you.
No, it
It's
really
fast
is.
food, and there's no such thing as healthy fast food.
Oh yeah,
Oh no, it's not. But
for sure.
dang, I forgot. I lost my
No,
train of
you're
thought.
talking about a client about raw food.
Oh yeah, so yeah, half of the diet was raw, and then half of it was cooked, but it was still everything off of the list. Everything was 100% plant based, and I just remember him talking about how he felt at the end of his 14 days, and he said at first, like the first couple of days were really, really, really difficult, and he kind of it wasn't a rhyme or rhythm as to when he could eat the raw foods and when he could eat the cooked foods. It just within that 14-day period, this was it. Once you eat all the cooked foods, they're gone. You on to the raw foods, whatever. But like he did say, like the first few days that he was on it, it was kind of like a detox. Like he said, it was really, really, really hard, and it kind of felt like he was missing something. And he was like, I just kept drinking water. Like I'm just drinking water, trying to just replace whatever I felt like my body was missing. But he was like, by day 5 or 6, he was like, it was easy, and it was easy for him to see it all the way through. But what happened where he fell off at was he didn't want to prepare the food himself, and he didn't do another meal prep. And so he kind of went back to his other lifestyle. And that's the thing with Dr. Sebi's teachings that I think also goes over a lot of people's heads. Like, this man was committed to this lifestyle. There was no leniency. There was no balance. It was 100% alkaline. And I think his predominantly was the raw food, which the raw foods are how to get the vegetables, not the vegetables, but the nutrients and the proteins and all of the good stuff in its best form. That's why, you know, they've also got this raw meat diet going on with the dogs now. They're like, dogs should not be eating kibble. They should be eating raw food. And that's the healthiest for them. And even when it comes to steak, when you cook the steak well done, you cooked all of the nutrition out of it.
Right.
If you take it back to the original times, yes, we are supposed to, if you're going to consume meat, it honestly should be consumed raw. I mean, you have dishes like tartare that are still served raw today, but it look nasty. It does. And it's because, you know, we're used to cooking our foods and we're used to cooking our vegetables. But when we do that, we do lose a lot of the nutritional value that's in them. So,
for sure.
I mean, I think that it would be hard to not cook everything, but it's also, I think, something, baby steps, set realistic goals, something that we can incorporate slightly, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so we have just a little over 10 minutes left. So if we want to start, you know, sharing our final thoughts and wrapping up this topic here.
Oh yeah, my final thought is that everyone, please hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App, support these ladies. Okay, they like money too. You know what I'm saying? We all do. It's a recession and inflation's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Big L, I mean, my email address is in the back. Please use that and send me that list.
I got you.
Right. So nothing wrong with the alkaline diet. I mean, and I guess not use oils as much as I've been doing.
I didn't see anything wrong with it though. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it either, but I mean,
we'll see. Do you feel any different? Have you had blood work done?
Yeah.
Well, also, if you're mainly using olive oil and avocado oil anyway.
Thanks, Robert H, for the $10 super chat. Money. Yeah, cooking butter. That's all he's supposed to say. Thanks, Robert H. We appreciate you. Go ahead, Big Al. What were you saying?
Those are the healthier oils for you anyway. So you probably aren't using enough to experience any adverse health effects from it. It's like the vegetable oil and the canola oil that are like science experiments and probably, you know, shouldn't be consumed at any level. Those are the things I think that people should be more concerned about. But I know that you're pretty experienced in the kitchen from what you've said. So it sounds like you know what you're doing. You're not drenching, even though you did use the word drench.
I know. I meant drizzle. I meant drizzle the salmon in olive oil.
Drench.
It's just
with DR.
Right. It's just a thin outer coating of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thin outer coating of it. That's all. I mean, but...
No, I got you. But yeah, those oils I feel like are the safer oils to have in your pantry anyway. So, and if you're only making a pan-seared or chicken breast, I mean, how much oil do you really need? And I'm sure some of the oil still gets left on the parchment paper or in the pan, so you're not even consuming it all. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's right. People, if you're gonna cook steak, never cook it well done, because you just cooked out all the nutrients out of that meat, making it pointless to even eat it. Cook it medium.
Go get a Slim Jim. Go get a Slim Jim.
Might as well, but then you got all kind of carcinogens and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, that was a joke. Please don't eat Slim Jim.
Those things are horrible.
That is true. Yes, be checking those labels. That's what we talked about one of our first shows, for sure.
Jenny, my favorite is avocado oil. I am right. The runner-up is sunflower oil. I like avocado oil because it's not as heavy in flavor as olive oil. Olive oil, sometimes, unless you're using like a light olive oil, it can be kind of heavy, especially if you're baking. You don't necessarily want your dessert to get those flavors or whatever you're baking with.
Mm.
And then sunflower oil, that's probably the more pricier oil. That's a little bit harder for me to buy, but that one has a really, really high heat level. You can fry with it, you can bake with it, you can saute with it, and it doesn't have any flavor to it. And both of those are considered alkaline per Dr. Sebi's list. So those are my two go-tos.
That's good.
And
That's
olive
good
oil I
stuff.
like for like marinades and salads and stuff like that, and vinaigrettes.
Yeah, I saw Robert H says nut seed oils are awful. I've been seeing that a lot on Twitter, but I haven't really looked into that.
Yeah, I
Um,
haven't done any additional research. It's been a while, so I would have to look into that. And that's the thing, that's what I'm talking about. Like when you start opening up these wormholes, when you start
mhm.
looking into things, you do realize that ignorance is bliss, and I think that's what sets a lot of people back because especially like I've told you, I've had friends that are like, "Hey, Al, look, I got a smoothie. I'm drinking a smoothie today," and I'm like,
Right. Like, don't
"Huh?"
use all of these things to be a reason to not start making better
Yeah.
choices because these things are this is information that's good for you to know and to be aware of. But at the same time, be careful if you're using it as, oh my gosh, I don't know where to begin, throw my hands up. No, you're good one step at a time. Start, with our first, bit of the show talking about compromise, don't deprive. You can start there. Start
Mhm.
making those steps and then it will snowball, but do not have
Don't give
excuses.
up.
Yeah, don't give
Also,
up either. Don't do
Mandrell, because
that.
I was interested. And I really wanted to find it out because whatever wasn't on the list, I just took Dr. Sebi's word for it. So that was probably my bad. But um, in his elaboration, when it comes to spinach, he said, although the pH level is below 7, it's not alkaline, even if it may have beneficial substances because spinach has a starch base and it also blocks iron and calcium absorption.
That is interesting stuff when you with magnesium and potassium and how they interact and will won't allow you to absorb another one. That's some interesting stuff too. But
That is
the human
interesting because
body's
I used to eat spinach often and I would get heartburn. I felt like I would get heartburn and indigestion, and I didn't understand why. And I mean, I would eat because I thought it was just so good for you. I would put it in my smoothies, I would put it on sandwiches, I would make rice and mix spinach in with it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
why do I keep having these issues? And
Mm,
now I've replaced my spinach with arugula and I don't have those issues. So
interesting.
yeah, I definitely do find some
Trial
some
and
some
error.
understanding and belief in that statement.
Yeah.
Maybe that was giving you heartburn, Mandrell. Maybe it wasn't the garlic. Because didn't you say you was having heartburn? Hello?
Hmm?
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm done with
What's
him.
up? What you asked me?
Was spinach giving spinach giving you heartburn?
Spinach giving me heartburn? No.
What was it?
He don't know because he didn't even look into it.
Looking at what? What was giving you indigestion?
Yeah.
Angina? Oh, I don't know, Coach K. I mean,
No, Big Al brought it
um,
up. She remembered.
Did you hear what I even said about the
no.
You're gonna
I
have
was
to
miles
rewatch
away.
that.
No, Luke Hazley, I was not asleep. Luke Hazley, I was not asleep.
spinach? You asleep with your eyes open. You
I
No,
know.
I
You don't
wasn't.
even.
No, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I was miles away.
You
Okay,
were
real
miles
quick.
away.
What's your question?
So spinach has a pH low below 7. It's
Mm-hmm.
not alkaline, although it may have beneficial substances, and this is because spinach has a starch base. It also blocks iron and calcium absorption.
It
And I
blocks
was saying,
calcium and iron absorption. You should not be eating spinach.
oh, you know what? Next show, can you bring your mama on? I want to talk to your mama. I want to see.
Why?
Right. We get the whole family.
Cause yeah, if she probably the only person that knows
Oh, she
exactly
doesn't
what to expect
understand
from
me.
you.
She has no
Oh,
clue
she
what's
does.
going on. Never has. Even when I was a kid, no clue.
That's hilarious.
She had
That's
no clue what to
hilarious.
do with me. I had a friend of mine one day ask
Oh,
me, he calls me by my real name. He's like, "Hey man, let me ask you something." I said, "What?" He said, "When you were born, did you come with instructions?" I was like,
Oh my god.
no, I didn't come with instructions.
Oh,
That's a valid question.
How is that a valid question, Big Al?
Cause you intricate. I don't know what you were just doing.
I know. That's why I enjoy when you come on our show every time. Yeah, we do want shoot too.
Oh yeah, shoot.
What
Oh
do you-
yeah, she
No,
probably
you
do got
don't.
the
Wait,
tea.
Luke
Yeah, she
Hazley.
probably do
What?
got the.
Luke Hazley,
She
why do
got
you
the-
want
she got
shoot
the
when you
answers.
have me?
Cause she got the answers.
No, she doesn't.
I know we do need to do a deep dive
It's okay, we
into
gonna
who
see.
is Mandrell.
She does not
Oh
have
yeah, maybe
answers.
that can be our next
Do you,
topic.
wait, do you? Here's the thing. You want to know the secret? You know where she gets those answers from?
Who? You?
Me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good source then. We need
It's
to
a
figure it
fantastic
out.
source. You just said she has the answers, which means she's correct, which means I've done my job.
We gotta find someone else.
Yeah, the next topic we're gonna do is the breakdown of Mandrell.
Yeah, who is he? The
Who
Mandrell
is
that
he?
you know is not the
Dun, dun,
Mandrell
dun,
that
dun,
you
dun,
know.
dun, dun,
She said there was some more Mortal Kombat Ultra stuff, man.
That's good. That's good stuff. We got 3
Okay,
minutes
Ultra.
left, y'all. What? Any other final
Oh.
thoughts we
Luke
have?
Hazley. And Luke Hazley, I've not seen you at my show. I did a really good one last night, ladies. You'd have been proud of me.
I think I popped in for a little bit, I think.
You would have been proud of me. Big L, you too. Yeah, Kanye is done.
Oh yeah, oh gosh.
They took his school away from him and everything today.
What? I don't even know what was said, but I am very proud of you. If anybody would have had Kanye or been trying to defend Kanye, I would have thought you would have been able to find some logic for it.
Oh no, I didn't.
He done?
No, he's done. It's
you know
over.
what?
And he
All
did
right,
it to
Mandrell.
himself.
I
He has
see you.
no one to blame but himself.
I'm waiting
Yeah.
to see what happens because you know.
Now, reportedly, he apologized today. I'm going to find that apology and see what kind of sucking up
And
he
then
does.
when he did the interview with what was his name, Bryce Pierce or Paul,
Piers
whatever
Morgan.
his
Oh,
name
Piers
is.
Morgan.
Piers
Yeah.
Morgan.
Yeah, Piers Morgan. He like, I apologize if I hurt people, but I'm
It's
still
too-
standing
it's
on
too
what I said.
controversial.
So,
Luke
like, what do you
Hazley.
mean?
No, I'm not touching that topic.
Yeah,
I
Um,
watch you all the time, Luke Hayes. I watch your content. Look, I'm hurt.
Whatever.
I mean, you gotta
Mandrell.
you gotta have the boxing gloves and be ready to step into the ring. Sometimes when it comes to you, everybody ain't ready for that.
But she didn't even have to come on the panel. I just like seeing her. I like seeing her comments in the chat. Like she has some really good questions. Like she will. Like Luke Case ask all of us, you going and going, then all of a sudden she asks a really good question. It's like I didn't even think of that. You know, and I researched this, and I didn't even think of a question like that to find out. You know,
I appreciate
she
that.
does a lot of, and it's a lot of that from her in the chat. Like she will actually.
That. That's somebody good to have around. Then
Luke Case has some really good questions
in the chat and you know watching the show. So we're gonna be ending here. If you guys have any ideas or topics that you want us to cover. And don't worry, I will be bringing a reference list next time.
Okay.
I mean, don't play. I'll bring it.
Put the links.
It'll be APA. You know, everything cited, whatever. But yes, thank you guys all for coming. Thank you, Mandrell, and thanks for coming to the show. Stay tuned for tomorrow is Barbershop Talk, right? And all the different shows on Black Man Unfiltered Network. Anything else? Anything else for you guys?
I think I'm all good. I feel like I know. I think Mandrell turned off again, honestly. But
no, I didn't. I'm right here.
Oh, you still?
I was just being quiet. I didn't.
You looked exactly the same way the last time, so I wasn't sure.
Lexi's show is at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, so be sure to check her out. And just turn on that notification bell. You'll get the notifications when the shows are on the network. So thank you guys all for coming. Be sure to like.
Yes. Oh yeah, and then you can find us on social media in the meantime, in between time. I am Big Al's Kitchen 313 on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yep, and I'm just kr.coaching. Website is coachkr.com. And Mandrell, you want anything to share? Where to find you?
Yeah, you can find me right here on the Black Man Unfiltered Network. I have a show. My show is Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's called Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. I did a powerful show last night.
All right.
Powerful show.
Everyone catch the replay. All right.
There's no defending Kanye West. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Thank
Kanye
you,
West.
guys. All
No,
right.
Candace Owens. But
That is all.
Candace Owens. But I'm just saying.
Just one glass in, you're already on my mind. When it gets late, I always realize that I need you. Are you thinking about me tonight? It's no secret, all my friends already know